Hi. So today we are going to talk about. I'm going to continue with the series Archetypical Energy of all the zodiac signs, and I'm going from Pisces to Aries because I believe that Pisces begins the zodiac cycle, not Aries. So okay, so last sign we did was Capricorn, right? So where we were. So Capricorn archetypical energy, it's ruled by these big two ideas, which is time, fate, and underneath these two idea is lingering this fear of death. Capricorn is massively impacted by fear of death. So that because Capricorn understands in that stage of development of consciousness, Capricorn understands that they cannot, yes, they are the cardinal sign of Earth, so they're pushing the earthy establishment, creating a structure, creating a civilization, creating a society that we can live in. We can, um, so it's a lot of creation, a lot of building is associated with Capricornic energy. But Capricorn, because it's a ruled by Saturn, so Capricorn is very wise, but they're wise in the Capricorn. When I'm talking about Capricorn, it's not particular in, I'm talking about energy, okay? It's the archetypical energy that we are talking about. So Capricorn understands that, okay, Capricorn is very much acutely aware that they cannot control a lot of things. They cannot control weather, they cannot control nature, they cannot control death, they cannot, that's why Capricorn ruled by these two themes of time and death. Time means that what begins is going to end, which is also very much the concept of death. And the fate is that we cannot control everything because something is larger than us, bigger than us, is controlling. Or controlling, maybe not the right word, but Capricorn think like that. Capricornic energy, it's a control and death is two the primary word. If you really know somebody who is heavily Capricornic energy, influenced by Capricornic energy, you will hear them using these two words a lot. Anyway, so Capricorn understands, so that's why Capricorn, what now, before I go into Sagittarius, I just want to create the context that where we are coming from and how where we are going. So I'm kind of building this bridge. I'm not repeating, I'm not repeating the Capricornic video that I've already done. This is more of a cushion that I want to, before I get into Sagittarius energy, archetypical energy. Anyway, so Capricorn is what it is. The Capricorn is like, so that's why Capricorn, what they do, Capricorn created this nature versus man kind of. Okay, we cannot control nature, so we are going to build our own society, we are going to build our own cocoon where we will be safe, where which we can control. So we are creating our own world altogether outside of nature, because Capricorn doesn't understand nature, so it's petrified by it, the randomness, or because they don't understand, so nature's law kind of come to them as random and kind of unpredictable. They cannot control, and that freaks them out, the Capricornic energy. So they want to create their own bubble of control. That's why our, any society on this world, on this earth, is ruled by, in a majorly is Capricornic energy. Whether it's a patriarchy, somewhere there is a matriarchy, whatever it is, it comes from this sublime presence of fear of death and fear of lack of control. So they create this bubble where they can control. That's why Capricornic, another mantra for Capricornic energy is reduction. If you reduce the energy, then you can control the energy. So that's why Capricornic energy, always there's a restriction. It's always the foundational energy of Capricorn is reduction based. It's restrictive. It's not expansive. So that's where the Sagittarius comes in. Okay, so what Sagittarius? Sagittarius rules by Jupiter. Jupiter is in the Greek mythology. It's the father of gods. It's like the father of, it's a god of lights, god of thunder, god of it's like the king of pantheon. It's like all these, the god of, that's why, in Jupiter, in Vedic astrology, they call it guru. Guru means someone who has all the knowledge, who can guide people. So what Sagittarius, when Sagittarius coming in, Sagittarius also have this concept. Sagittarius acutely understand the fear of death and the fear of fate. That's why Sagittarius wants to, what Sagittarius energy wants to do, they said, okay, we gonna use force. There is like a two development, two division within the archetypical energy of Sagittarius. The first Sagittarius energy, whether you call it low vibrational, and this, I don't see it, I don't think it's a different, it's just a cyclic energy. So the one energy of Sagittarius, which every Sagittarian energy go through, which is winning by force. That's why you will see all the leader, like commander general, like army general, navy general, most of the time people like the, like country's leader, all these kind of things, army, like who has lot of, like those kind of physical force, have the put it together and kind of implement it in a larger winning. Mostly if you Google it, mostly those people have high Sagittarius energy, influenced by it, because Sagittarius wants to, because it's ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the king of pantheon. The pantheon wants, like if something comes in our way, Sagittarius is still working within the paradigm of Capricorn, what Capricorn created. So Sagittarius is not outcast. People, many people think the Sagittarius is the free, what is that, free soul, they don't want to bind by anything. I don't think that's a Sagittarius energy. They may come across, the way they communicate, the way they're very daredevil, they want to do, but Sagittarius abide law. Sagittarius understands structure. Sagittarius really do, because Sagittarius coming from this Capricornic thing is like a generational trauma. So the Sagittarius carrying on this generational fear of death and fate. But Sagittarius still working with the paradigm of this society that Capricorn has established or started creating. So what Sagittarius, as a general, Sagittarius is like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to win it by force. So they, many time you will see in the if you go to our ancient rituals, most of the time what they're doing, when there is a thunderstorm, when there is a rain or something like that, and they fear nature. Sagittarius, and what they do, they do, if you watch all these ancestral ethnographic old videos, vintage videos, most of the time they will do like chanting, they will offer something. Sagittarius is very god fearing, and they are like, okay, I'm they try to do it by force. When I say force in our modern terms, force mean my physical force, like a fighting and all that. But Sagittarius, not only that, Sagittarius is very ritualistic also. Sagittarius can, this energy embody, like all Sagittarius want is to, with living within the paradigm of fear of this death and fate, but they want to overcome that, they want to win death, they want to bring longevity in people's life. So how they do it, so they try to do it with force, and sometimes it can be manual force, physical force, like army general, and all this kind of defense that we have built in our society. And sometimes it can be very ritualistic force, like because Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter, right? Jupiter and Neptune. the older the ancient lord was Jupiter. So it has this like Piscean also is very much into rituals. Pisces do a lot of ritual, but that's like more of a cosmic, psychological, more of a spiritual ritual. But Sagittarius is more of a material, like, oh, I'm gonna blow the sunk, or I'm gonna do this dance, like old ancient way, like rain dancing, this and that, which is also spiritual, but it's like a very very physical form, very physical way to, no, don't come here, okay, to storm, push it away, like there's a physical force, physical coming out of this physical inertia that Capricorn has, and because it's so strung by the fear of death, so Sagittarius kind to try to move that. So there is one way that Sagittarius does it. Okay, when I say Sagittarius, I'm only talking about energy. These are all fluid energy, and we all can learn from this energy, and we are the alchemist. We can mix and match energy based on our situation, based on our mental state, and we can create things. Like there is nothing stagnant, nothing is permanent, nothing is just one directional. Okay, so another way, Sagittarius, sorry, the another way Sagittarius wants to bring develop the consciousness of human mind is to unity. And how Sagittarius can do unity? Sagittarian energy delve into wisdom, delve into knowledge, delve into higher power. So that's why you will see most of the time, like all the academics, all the whosoever needs all this, all the scripture writers, like religion, any kind of group, that ideological group, it's all literally it all founded by this Sagittarius energy. What Sagittarius wants to bring those wisdom. And where they are bringing this wisdom, they are bringing from the natural law. So that means what Capricorn wanted to do, Capricornic energy knows that they cannot control nature. So what they do, they try to build something outside of nature, which obviously not sustainable. That's why our world is fucked up all the time. Seriously, like everywhere there is a problem, there is a hostility, there is a violence, everything is going on. Of course there are good stuff as well, so, but I'm just saying it's not sustainable in a long run. Sagittarius understand that. Sagittarius wants to bring people together by creating a unification of mind. What that means, creating a unified ideology. So Sagittarius, that's why Sagittarius rules religion. Jupiter, when Jupiter in Sagittarius energy, it's very much like religious. It's very much religious. It's, may not be the church goer or temple goer kind of religion, but they do believe that there is a ultimate truth out there in the world, in the nature. If just they can find it, then people can just follow that ultimate truth, which is pretty much religioustic intention. All the religion was born with this notion that whatever the truth they found is the way to live. And then they get so fanatic about it, and then they couldn't move out of that box, and then they'd become a establishment, and all the problem arises, and we all know that. So Sagittarius have this, they want to unify. They have this, they actually have, want to be fair with people, want to be fair, want to do, they're not kind of, okay, you need to believe that apple is squared just because I'm saying it to you to. No, they don't want to do that. They don't want to force their personal belief onto people. What they would like to do, they want to prove that apple is square first. So they're very academic, they're very intellectual, they're very and then that's why most of the scientists have a very high Sagittarian energy into it. Like all the scientists, they want to prove, because they do not believe in like they, that's the thing, Sagittarius, that's why the duality. One part of Sagittarius is just listen to me because I'm telling you to, because I know better. Sagittarius have that energy. If you are Sagittarian energy, you know that. Especially when you are not too evolved, you feel like what you, why you, like we collectively, when we get into this Sagittarian premature energy, we feel like we know that we know, we right, you just follow my lead. Sagittarius has the natural leadership quality, but their leadership quality most of the time, if they're not conscious enough, comes from this um lack of knowledge, that I know what I know, and I know everything. So that's not the answer. So then, when Sagittarius evolve, then they want to prove things. And how they going to prove things? They study nature, they get into the natural law, they really understand how nature works, they try to understand how nature works, then they build calculation, then they come up with all this solution, then they try to prove that apple is square, and when they prove it, then they come with the force. How like, so there is always the Sagittarius, all the duality sign, like Gemini, Sagittarian, Virgo, and Piscean, like all of them are dual signs. So there is always this duality exist. There is in for Sagittarius, there is like a force, like they try to force things, whether it's a manual force, whether it's a physical force, or intellectual force, or persuasion force, whatever it is, there is a force element involved. And then there is a wisdom. Sagittarius is really looking for this knowledge, natural knowledge, because what Sagittarians want to continue this development that Capricorn have established. Sagittarians doesn't want to break away from everything. Sagittarius, okay, you build this society, patriarchy, matriarchy, whatever you build it. If I believe in patriarchy, then I am a soldier, and I am gonna shoot my arrow in the cloud. I'm gonna get this knowledge, how to fight death and how to bring rain when there is a drought, or something like that. So that's why they're like, I'm gonna prove this, I'm gonna bring this new thing, so that we can improve what you are creating, because I fear what you fear, which is death and fate and time and limitation. But I don't want to be bound by this limitation. I want to be expansive. I want to go there. I want to find the answer. I'm going to bring that answer to the earth, and I'm going to give it to everybody. Then everybody listen to me, because then I'm going to go and fetch all this answer, and you listen to me. Most of the time, they are actually very good if they're really evolved. But there is this stubbornness in Sagittarius also, like, okay, I know it, just listen to me. Okay, so, and if somebody really, if you think that somebody really knows something, there is nothing wrong in listening to them. I think we're, especially recently, we're just, oh, I think what I think, everybody wants to be, but we are not. We all have we cannot be everybody everything. Then what's, if we all have talents, let's each other talent shine and help each other. Maybe somebody is Sagittarius is good at preaching, Sagittarius is good at bringing knowledge, okay, let them bring the knowledge. Capricorn is good at building, so let them build the thing. Somebody is good at listening and following, let them follow the, we cannot just be, now we are like all chaos, we all want to be everything, and nobody wants to listen anybody, nobody wants to do anything, nobody wants to follow anybody. It's like nobody wants to be followed. I mean, no, that's not true. People wants to be followed, especially now. But that's a different kind of following anyway. So that's what Sagittarian energy is trying to do. So hold on, I took some notes. Let me. Oh, okay. So this is also continuation of, after Uranus and Saturn, this is Jupiter. So what Uranus in Aquarius, what Aquarius wanted to do, Aquarius wanted to bring this ideological, like ideal magical ideas that will be like, that will blow people's mind, and they are gonna cure all the limitation of nature, all the limitation that earth imposes, right? That's a Uranus energy. I'm just gonna go out of the box and this and that. And Aquarius does all these things. But in Aquarius video, I talked about what is the drawback of Aquarian energy, which really puts Aquarius in a baby of the zodiac. as a baby of the zodiac. And then Capricorn, Saturnic energy. Capricorn, okay, I'm gonna create personal manipulation. This is my world, this is my building, this is my skyscraper. I'm building this, I'm gonna fight the storm, I'm gonna fight this, I'm gonna fight that. Nature cannot build me down, bring me down. And then the corona comes and everything, depending on what you believe about corona. But anyway, so all I'm trying to say that the tsunami comes, okay, all the buildings are gone, okay, where all this my world, my way kind of things, nature always has the upper say. So then Sagittarius comes. Sagittarius is not about that. Sagittarius gonna bring all this, okay, I'm gonna, okay, this is my personal manipulation, this is my world, I know this is my world I'm building with my limited knowledge. I also want this magical element like Aquarian energy. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring natural law into it. So Sagittarius is the first sign from Pisces. Pisces is everything, right? We talk about that. So let's say Aquarius. Aquarius is the baby of the zodiac. Pisces is the beyond born, like before born. That's a Pisces energy. So after we born, like Aquarius is the baby, and the Sagittarius is like, okay, Aquarius did not learn how to understand nature, neither did Capricorn. Sagittarius said, no, I am going to learn this. It is important because I'm repeatedly encountering that without understanding nature, we are very, very limited. If we understand nature, maybe we'll understand the secret of immortality, the secret of longevity, a secret of wisdom. So that's why all of our religion, take any religion practice based on this idea, that God is speaking to me, I am a messenger, I'm giving you how to live your life, what to do, what not to do, so that you can have a prosperous life within the realm of restriction of the earth. So, is religion a bad thing? No. But if religion, and then the same question arises again, is religion a bad thing? Yes, if we don't know how to transform. If you don't know, because nature is never fixed. What came to you, Sagittarius is their crown chakra is quite open, right? Sagittarius can go into the nature. That's why Sagittarian energy, most of the Sagittarian heavy people, they like to be isolated. They like to live either in the forest or on the mountain. I'm not saying that they are just not necessarily they're sleeping on the soil, not necessarily they're living like a stone age people, but they like this isolation where they can think, where they can calm their mind and really connect with that crown chakra and bring all this knowledge that they are getting from this crown chakra and bring it to the earth, so that they can create an ideology. Sagittarius is more of a formation of ideas, formation of theories, formation of scriptures. So because Sagittarius is a very unified, they want to unify, they want to bring people together. But this is not a bring people together like Libra's way. That's where we're gonna go later, because Libra is much evolved sign. Evolved, yes, let's say evolved. But there is nothing, in zodiac, nobody is like inferior or nobody is superior. It just the energy is evolving and we are all mixing up. So that's why nobody can sit on the high horse, oh, I'm this, I'm the most intelligent person in the whole world. No, not like that. We all have the energy. It's like a alchemical process happening in our mind, in our existence, our cosmos, in our surroundings. So Sagittarius says that, you know what, I'm gonna bring this knowledge. That's why they like to be isolated, they like to do their own thing. They love nature, Sagittarian energy, because that's how they observe a river, they observe how leaf falls or something very subtle things in the nature, and then try to connect that particular momentum with a bigger picture of natural law. Because what they're saying, what they're trying to do, why they're so obsessed with natural law, you need to understand that many people are Sagittarius so obsessed with the bigger picture. Why? Because they are driven by fear of fate and fear of death, which Capricorn established. And they just don't wanna nature observe nature just for having fun or have a calm time. They really want to bring something out of it, so that they can create a law out of it, create a theory out of it, or create some kind of thesis out of it, and then they can create ideology out of it, and then they can bring people together so that everybody is thinking same. Because Sagittarius understand that in order to do something collectively, everybody has to be, that's what Sagittarius thinks, that everybody has to be on the same page. Otherwise there are going to be chaos, there are going to be violence, there are going to be then Sagittarius have to impose force. Sagittarius doesn't want to impose force, but it's a duality nature, so they have this forceful nature within their DNA, and they don't want to imply that, or apply that, so what they do, they try to bring people together on an intellectual, like association of mind way. Because they think that when everybody is like in, think about road traffic. If everybody, if that's what, I'm pretty sure it's invented by somebody who has something strong Sagittarian energy. It's like if everybody follows a certain rule, then there will be no accident. Accident only happens when we don't follow the rule, because the way traffic moves, it obey that rule. So when you don't obey that rule, it creates randomness. As Sagittarius does not understand randomness. Sagittarius can be a lot of things, but Sagittarius does not understand randomness. Sagittarius is not chaotic. And when I say chaotic, is not a negative way. Chaotic is the ultimate energy of creation. But Sagittarius try to suppress that, because Sagittarius wants order, law and order. That's the Sagittarian energy. Because Sagittarius feel like, if everybody's mind is working similar way, then we can control. Again, the Capricornic archetype is kind of spilling over to Sagittarius control. Then we can control, and when we can control it better, and then I'm gonna connect to the natural law, I'm gonna bring more ways to really uplift our consciousness. But in order to do all this thing, you need to bring people together, and they all need to think same. That's why religion is like one god, my religion does that, in this everybody wants to bring people under their own religion, not because it's not about that. It's like they want to bring people together on a mind basis. So it's not that, that's why when that's another thing, that's why Scorpio comes next, because it's Sagittarius. One thing that Sagittarius energy does not understand fully is the concept of death, because he's so fearful of that. And it tries to save it with all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all the natural law, beautiful stuff, force sometimes, yeah, required, but it does not understand death. So when evolved Sagittarius does understand, though, because they already transmute it to Scorpionic energy. So when the Sagittarius is not evolved, what they do, there's like, okay, I knew that, it came to my dream, it came to my crown chakra, okay, this is the way. But the thing is, nature is not stagnant. What is true today might not be true tomorrow. Look at our physics. We all knew gravity is real. Now we are saying that gravity is not even there. It's all electromagnetic energy flow. Sometimes, and then it's saying that what this flowing, the energy is like plasma. There is no gravity. Gravity does not have that, power to hold the whole universe. That's what the new physics is saying. So see how things are physics. Physicians are mostly Sagittarian energy. So what it does, it tells you, okay, if the truth changed, that doesn't mean it's not true. Just understand the changeable nature of truth, because nature is always evolving. What is truth for you, like in the early 18th century or 19th century, might not be the truth in 21st century. That doesn't mean that you just bluff the whole generation of like population with your religion and stuff. It was true then, but it is not true now, because the earth is not a dead planet. We are not living on a, the universe is not dead, it's evolving everything every day. Truth is relative, truth is transformative. That's what Scorpio is all about. Come on, man, embrace the death. Die so that you can see truth from a different perspective. Oh my god, my ear just, I don't know what happened. All I'm hearing right now is like a ultrasonic thin sound ray. It gone. Ooh, what was that? Anyway, so like that's what the Sagittarian energy needs to learn. It needs to learn how to transform, literally. Otherwise it becomes this fantasism, like fanatism of religion, that we all know how we are suffering from it. Nobody is escaping from that. you know what was told, like, I don't know, thousand and thousand years how to live a life that was sustainable in that era, in that particular natural um, situation. But things have changed, nature is evolving, we are evolving. So religion is not bad as long as religion is ready to transform, ready to grow, ready to die even if necessary. So that's where this stubbornness of Sagittarius comes in, because it's like, oh, I already did the work and now you're gonna tell me it doesn't work. Okay, it did work 2000 years ago, how come it's not working today? It's not working today because it was 2000 years ago, and 2000 years happened in between. We take those time for granted, but time is not just a empty passage of movement. Time revolves around a spatial development. you know People always tell, oh my, I'm not saying that it's not valid. What might have worked for our grandmother for their skin, maybe the same thing would work for us, actually, maybe. But the thing is, think about that their time, they did not have those of pollution, they did not have so much of laser beams, they did not have so much of artificial food. Yes, we are still the human. Oh, I hear many times people say, oh, if my if, like, my grandparents never even use this and use that. Obviously we don't have to, that's the best way, natural. I totally agree, and I actually practice that. But the thing is, we also have to understand what happened between your grandmother and you. Time happened, and with time things have changed, and with change we are directly proportionate with the change, the effect of it, directly proportionate. So what might have worked for them might not work for us under the situational condition we are in. If we can create an environment where there is less pollution, where we're eating more natural food, whole food, when we are much more not exposed to all this radiation, all these laser beams, yes, maybe then what they did for their skin might work for us, like a golden recipe. But all the other variation is at work. We need to understand that. It's not just the you know, it's not just a comparing between two human beings from a different era. What happened, why it is different era? That means something is different in the time, right? If it was the same, then we would not call it a different era. And in that different era, a lot of things have taken place that are different, and those differences are not just excluded in our overall development. So those kind of equation needs to be understood in order to really create something which is much more sustainable. So that's why Sagittarian energy needs to understand transformation, how to change. Um, okay, so another thing that I always try to give in these videos, like, because I don't want to give information like, as if it's like floating in the air. I really do want to ground those information in our day-to-day life so that we can really use those, because these are really, these knowledges are so helpful in our day-to-day life. So how we can use the Sagittarian energy, whenever we find ourselves blocked down, we find ourselves that we cannot understand what the solution should be. And many times we are in this situation, right, where you don't know what to do, which way to go, what could be done, like whether it's a treatment, whether, let's say, you are going through some kind of disease and you have consulted doctors and you have seen 5 6 doctors in a year. Everybody gave you a bunch of things. Okay, you have seen allopathy, you have seen homeopathy, you have seen ayurveda, you have seen Chinese acupuncture, this and that and all that. Okay, nothing is working. What to do, right? Fed up, wasting money and all this stress. This is the time to get into this Sagittarian energy. Open your crown chakra. Your soul knows the answer. Your soul knows what needs to be done to you under certain kind of crisis. Your soul has all the information. Open the crown chakra. Go to some isolated place. Get in touch with your inner knowledge. Spend more time with nature. Observe nature. You will find the answer. You will find the answer. Let me give you an example. This is truly personal example. Okay, so I have this. I told you about my fear, right? There's another thing that's also, but that's more of a Piscean kind of embodiment of knowledge. But here, so I used to have, I mean, I still have, um, like, I cannot. When I was a kid, I used to run a lot. So I could do a lot of, I used to take part in a lot of running, racing, this and that. But then when I was like, I think mid teenage, I started having this shooting, like, pain in my lower part of the leg, and in the just right before the frontal of the cuff muscle. I will run. Oh my god, it will, my thing will shut down. I mean, it's like it felt like that I cannot even move. Like I will go complete paralyzing effect for 5 minutes, and then after 5 10 minutes, it again, then I again can move my legs. So, and I've seen many doctors, like literally many doctors since my childhood. My mom took me to all these places, different doctors. Some of them are very fancy doctors, this and that. I did all these things, nothing helped. So 2 years ago, I was, and at the time I never really meditate on this thing. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna deal with it. I cannot run, so I stopped running. I stopped doing most of my sports activity, and I started walking. Even when I walk too fast, it kind of shut it down again. So I was like completely kind of give away the physical activity part. Not like that I'm always on the couch. I did my physical activity, but nothing intense. Okay, went on like that. And then few years ago, many years after my teenage years, few years ago, I it started happening again because I started doing a lot of exercises because I wanted to get back. I just wanted to. I never feel good when I just sit all day. I really feel, because I have so much energy, I really need physical activity to let it out, whether it's a swimming, running, walking. I don't like running. Also, no running for me. But walking, swimming, whatever I like to do, just being, I really like my physical energy to be out in the external world. So, and I started doing a lot of things in New York because and all this thing, and I started having this pain came back to me. So I went to a doctor, and they did this and this and this, and there is multiple blood tests, this and that. And then then they came up with this diagnosis that it's a genetic thing, they can call it. Like I have these I don't know, narrow veins in my thing. And what happened when I do too much of oxygen? As you know, when you do too much of oxygen, when you do too much of exercise, the body parts that's mostly mainly involved in that particular exercise needs a lot of oxygen. So if you're running, so your lower parts of the body, your leg needs a lot of oxygen in order to really keep the muscle supple and relaxed when you're doing it. So because my veins are narrow and this and that, they said that when I do intensive exercise, I cannot get all the oxygen that I need in my feet, in my leg, lower part of my leg. So it shut down, and when I wait for 5-10 minutes, it's again gain all the oxygen. Then I can go for another 5 minutes, then I can, so it logically, it all makes sense. Okay, but I'm like, man, I cannot live like that. I cannot just all my life I have to what is this? So I did not go to, I don't like to go to doctors to begin with. Okay, so I have problem with doctors. Maybe another day I'm gonna get into that story. But anyway, so I started, I started imagining. Then I started doing this meditation, which is imagining. What is imagining? Imagining is wherever you feel pain. So I've started feeling pain in my leg, right? So what I do, I imagine, I close my eyes and I imagine my leg in a very cellular level. That means I'm inside my leg, so I can see the veins, I can see the bones, I can see the muscle, I can see the all the structure of the legs. And then I just imagining it, and I'm just soothing it. It's okay. It's okay the way you are. It's okay the way you are. And that knowledge came through me through meditation, which is also crown chakra thing. Meditation can be different kind, but this one came from this crown chakra. So I started doing that. Okay, and I started doing that, and then I accept I also do not like running. So maybe not everything is for everybody. Running is not for me. I accept that. And that doesn't mean I cannot do other exercise. I love swimming, I love walking in the nature, I can do a lot of things. I'm pretty active actually. So then I started doing that. And yeah, I did not have pain for last 2 years. Yeah, I can swim for hours. I actually swim, I told you, like almost 2 hours every day. I can walk in the nature. I can walk for hours and hours without having this. Yeah, sometimes I cannot, like I don't try to force myself to do something to prove something to me. I don't wanna, because I don't like running. Why I should force my body to run like 40 miles per hour speed and then get a crash? I don't even enjoy that exercise. Then why I should, why, like I accept that, like I don't like it, so why should I do it? And then I started like assuring my body part, like it's okay the way you are. And it did not happen. So this is like something like Sagittarian can do, it's like a understanding natural law. Understanding natural law, you cannot force a ocean to run like a whitewater river. You know what I mean? Then it transform into that. So everything has its own nature. You just need to understand that. We just need to understand the nature of it, and then embody that natural benefits and the limitation of it, and then imply, and I think it's going to work. So this is the way we can use the Sagittarian energy. When you go to spend more time with nature and get all the details from the nature, and how we can imply that in our life. Because if we give knowledge at our bay and just read it as a external element as knowledge, and do not imply in our regular day-to-day life, then what's the point of having those knowledge? you know if you have a degree in astrology and all these things, but you don't know how to imply those knowledge in your day-to-day living, then what's the point of having those degrees? Most of the time Sagittarius fall into that, because most of the Sagittarian people, they are very good at academic studies. They have bunch of degrees, they have bunch of stuff, but they just don't know how to use those knowledge, because they are sometimes very much cut off from the natural source of knowledge. But evolved Sagittarius look for knowledge in the nature. All the big scientists will tell you, they always go to nature to ask for answer. Anyway, so that's my interpretation of archetypical energy of Sagittarius. Next gonna be Scorpio. I'm so excited for Scorpio. Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. I love Scorpio energy. Okay, hope you get something out of it. Next time, bye.